Ever heard of a ruler so terrifying he stopped an entire army without a single battle? This is the story of Vlad III, better known as Vlad the Impaler. Vlad was born in 1431 in Transylvania, son of a knight sworn to defend Christian Europe, but his childhood was dark. At just 11, he and his brother were sent as hostages to the Ottoman Empire. Surrounded by constant threats, political scheming, and brutal punishments, Vlad learned a lesson that would define his life. Fear is a ruler's most powerful weapon. When Vlad finally returned to his homeland of Wallachia, it was in chaos. Ambitious nobles, called Bojars, were fighting for control, and the massive Ottoman Empire was encroaching on his borders. To survive and hold on to his throne, Vlad knew he had to rule with absolute, terrifying authority. He began a merciless campaign to purge his kingdom. The Bojars who betrayed his father, the thieves plaguing the countryside, the spies sent by his enemies all, faced the same gruesome fate: impalement. Impalement was Vlad's signature punishment. It was slow, agonizing, and designed to psychologically shatter his enemies. For Vlad, this wasn't just cruelty. It was a calculated strategy. In 1462, when Sultan Mehmed II invaded Wallachia with one of the world's largest armies, he was met with a scene from a nightmare. As the Ottoman forces approached the capital, they found a chilling display: a forest of 20,000 impaled bodies stretching for miles. The Sultan's most elite soldiers, hardened veterans of countless wars, were so horrified they refused to advance. This single act of psychological warfare caused the entire Ottoman army to retreat. Vlad had won a major victory with terror alone. Knowing he couldn't defeat the Ottomans in a direct fight, Vlad mastered the art of guerrilla warfare. He burned his own fields to starve their army, poisoned wells, and launched surprise attacks under the cover of darkness. His most audacious move was the famous night attack. In the dead of night, Vlad and a small force of his best men charged directly into the heart of the massive Ottoman camp. Their mission was simple and suicidal: assassinate the Sultan. The camp erupted into chaos. In the bloody confusion, thousands were killed, and the Sultan himself barely escaped with his life. Though the assassination failed, the attack sent shockwaves through the empire. Who would dare invade a land ruled by a ghost who strikes in the night? But Vlad's brutality made him enemies at home, too. The same nobles he terrorized into submission feared and hated him. In the end, it was betrayal from within that brought him down. He was captured and imprisoned in Hungary for 12 long years. By the time he was released and reclaimed his throne, Wallachia had changed. His final reign was short and bloody, and he was eventually killed in battle, surrounded by the very enemies he had fought his entire life. His head was cut off and sent to the Sultan as a trophy, while his body was lost to history. Vlad's terrifying reputation spread across Europe. Stories of the prince who impaled his enemies and dined among the dead became the stuff of legend. Centuries later, these dark tales inspired Bram Stoker to create the most famous monster in history, Count Dracula. But in his homeland of Romania, Vlad is seen very differently. He's not a monster, but a national hero, a fierce defender who used whatever means necessary to protect his people from foreign invasion. Was he a hero or a tyrant? A patriot or a madman? The truth is likely somewhere in between. But one thing is for certain: Vlad the Impaler is a name that history will never forget. Thank you for watching. Subscribe for more stories of the rulers who shaped our world.